Aditya, great to have you with us on Know Your Company. And that's really what we want to do today, get to know a little bit more about what you're building at Blox. It's a concept which I've heard many a stakeholder in the segment talk about. It's good to see someone actually doing it. Do share with our viewers what the concept is.
Absolutely. So, Blox is a completely revolutionary home buying platform, and it's not like any other stakeholder in the market simply because we service transactions in real estate end to end. The product that we've built is has been built with the vision of having a customer from thought and inception to moving in the house, completely serviced digitally and offline. And we've raised significant funding and taken a long amount of time to deliver that. And uh, like what I mean by that is that we have brought e-commerce type functionality to home buying. We are the first platform in India, and in many respects in like a lot of the world, which allows direct to developer payments. So our journey consolidation starts from a person conceiving that they want a home, and then going through search, discovery, comparison, booking an instant site visit, being serviced virtually, features and use cases that have never been conceived in India, which are: how do you buy a home? Do you say, I want to buy one home in this building? Or do you say, oh, this is my budget, this is my area, and I'll look at 4 or 5 homes? So, what ends up happening is when a person does that journey, which we understand, we've built a system for that, that a person can come in with that request and schedule 4 visits. They can do 3 virtually, one physically. They can shortlist and then go to 2 places physically. So, firstly, that causes a huge change and a huge disruption to the search and discovery journey, which we've seen in our sales. Like, we've been able to, in 5 months, sell the quantum of real estate that many of the incumbents haven't been able to in the first 6 7 years of their existence. The second part of this goes to what happens after the visit. So there is a gap because there's a developer who has a price, there's a client who expects a price. So that part we've built, in a hybrid structure, which is part online, part offline, so that a dedicated relationship manager is assigned to the person, and then they negotiate and close the deal and make it happen with the developer. And finally, the person can pay online. They can connect with the stamp duty portal through our platform. They can apply for a home loan through our platform. Until they move into the home, we will handhold them and guide them. So, something like this by far does not exist in India. And that's our one big, I mean, sorry, I'm a bit passionate about this. So, I have
No, no,
to
it's
distinguish our
great.
company from any of the incumbents that exist.
No, it's great, and it's good to hear you articulate it because it is something that hasn't been done before. You talked about extensive fundraising. Talk us a little bit through that as well, and the kind of runway that you have with it. What plans are in that direction in terms of scale, etc.
So, what is known in the public domain is that we raised our seed round about a year ago. We raised that from a clutch of about 14 Silicon Valley investors, which include funds, angels, and the round was led by Justin Mateen, the co-founder of Tinder. We also have, a couple of other high end funds who've come in with small tickets at that time, because we only raised $2 million. But that was, one of the biggest pre-product at only concept stage seed rounds that's ever happened in
Yeah.
India. Literally, it was me and a deck, no product, no employee, no nothing.
I was going to ask you that. I said because you said you raised in order to build this naturally because it involves so much tech. Uh, did you have any challenges in convincing them, or was it really just a matter of someone saying, "Hey, let's do this"?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. The truth is, there are many challenges, especially when you're pitching to investors with nothing that they can see, and it's
Mm.
all like selling them on an idea. It's harder than doing it when someone can see your platform and see the uses of it. And to raise a substantial amount of money and a substantial valuation at that time was tough. I mean, no doubt. But we also saw like a huge amount of understanding and interest what ended up happening was that in Latin America, a company called Loft came up, then Habi came up, so all these guys were watching this. They were viewing emerging markets from the lens that foreign investors do. And they said, look at what's happening in Latin America. In like 2 years, a multi-billion dollar companies come into play. And then they were able to relate that in many respects, emerging markets like India and Latin America share a lot of commonalities. We don't have a integrated MLS system in India like the US or the UK have, where there is a standard index or exchange of all properties. So you don't know exactly how much inventory is there, or exactly what the pricing is, or exactly the last transaction rate. So all of us have to solve that problem to so as to be able to make e-commerce type functionality available in home buying. So a bunch of guys started doing that in Latin America with a great amount of success. And Indian companies that were purely listing platforms, that's how, Indian companies used to be built. They would just go and aggregate as many listings as they could, and they would, try to earn ad revenue from it or sell leads. They never got into actually selling the home, right? But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Indian companies also thereafter, the one or two big players, actually ended up trying to pivot in that direction. So literally, guys who didn't sell real estate 2 years ago have now started selling real estate, the prop tech platforms. So we saw this wave. We saw the boom in the property market post COVID, and Silicon Valley investors were extremely captivated by being able to capture market share at scale. And then, with sufficient pitching and with sufficient investor interest, we were able to close the round. We, in fact, were oversubscribed by 3x at the end of it, and we had to say we can't sell off 60-70% of the company. It went quite well that way.
Very interesting. And, given the kind of response you're seeing, I mean, I love the fact that you've already shared with me impact in the first few minutes of us discussing this. Considering that the real estate market is also expected to see a pickup now, that upswing is meant to be coming in. What are the kind of projections you're factoring in, and what does this mean in terms of your own expansion plans? Are you just focusing on, building the tech? Are you onboarding more markets or segments? How does it progress from here?
Yeah. So basically, there are two parts to this
Hmm.
answer. The first part is that because our tech suite is an integrated suite for four stakeholders. So
Hmm.
there's the Blox internal user, there's the buyer, there's the builder, and there's the broker. All these nodes need to work in sync. To put it in like a little bit, easier way for our viewers to understand, your viewers to understand. One of the things, like if you imagine a Swiggy, right? The restaurant, the delivery partner, the
Yeah.
customer, everybody has to be clued into the transaction, or it becomes very difficult to do at scale. The restaurant needs to know when the pickup happens, the delivery part. So
Yeah.
we are trying to build a system like that in real estate, and we built it now. As in, it's been used. We've sold, over 200 crores of real estate in the last 5 months, and these have mostly been in testing out our product. Like the way we
Okay.
approached it
Okay.
is, we deployed our payments module right now in one of the projects in a limited capacity, and we saw the first few transactions where people paid their booking amounts online using our platform. So we
Hmm.
said now we can really scale this, and we'll improve the things that are uh, how they are, like things that we feel can improve a little bit more. So that's the first part to the answer, that our tech stack is a comprehensive stack which allows all stakeholders at one time on one transaction to communicate with each other. The
Yeah.
second part of it is, we built the company as a sales first company because we didn't want to get clubbed in with the other listing platforms, because what we are doing is truly disruptive, and it's not the same as just being one more house listing platform, where anybody can list anything and there's no real
Yeah.
call to action. So
Yes.
from
Yes.
day one, we built a whole sales infrastructure. We have the best people on our channel sales side, on our pre-sales side, that we've gotten from the industry. We are hitting close to 100 on rolls employees, and we have 100 ish people who work for us who are contractual in nature. And now we are expanding month on month and covering 2030 new sites, where we are able to give this instantish or schedule based service to the customer. So because we are built this way, we are building the
Yeah.
tech in parallel to the sales and not one after the other. And and
Okay.
and that's how the whole thing together is ready for expansion.
Fantastic. I'm going to leave it there, Aditya, but I think this is a, good enough teaser for some of our viewers as to what you're doing. And if they want to check this out, how do they go ahead and do it? Is it available for consumers, or does it happen through, different people that you're working with, or how does one access the tech?
Our Blox.xyz platform is
That's it.
live. We would
Yeah.
love for you to book a schedule a site visit and experience the whole journey. You'll experience the digital, the physical, and it'll truly be like, to experience it would truly be to understand the change that is coming to Indian real estate.
Fantastic. And I look forward to speaking with you again very soon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for your time.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.